the dream when you come back.
Okay. Now, I heard you talk about expansion, because you know every year we play a game out of the country. Sometime I think, and I'm guessing, I can't recall, I think Mexico or Europe or other places like that, to introduce this game of football to the world. So now, but this collective bargaining going, you know, the union been under attack for a very long time. So now that you see in your knowledge that this collective bargaining is there to help, not strengthen the union, because nobody like union, especially if you're the owner. But would you see the players, man, really uniting like they did back when they had the strike before? You see the players and the union is solidified regardless of what, we're not going to go back till we get some of our demands met. Is that the spirit among players today?
Well, I think the players are pretty unified. I had a chance during the former players convention down in Marco Island. The executive board for the active players were there, and they actually were able to talk with us, you know, the former players, and let us know how unified they are. And I feel that they're very unified. And you know, the active players really aren't. They don't have a lot of demands. You know, they're kind of happy the way the game is going now.
So they really is kind of representing the retired, the former players. They kind of more front person for the former players. They don't have a lot of demands, you know.
Yeah, they don't have any demands. I mean, because I mean they're being paid very well. The game is going great for them. Like James said, their retirement and pensions are pretty much set. I mean, yeah, they're set. They're doing very well. So the meeting was really, you know, to get them united with us so that they can help us out.
Very good. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. Let's talk football.
Good morning.
Good morning, it is.
Average football fan, I would like to know, with all this money that has been made in the last 15, 20 years, what about the first players you said the past, present, and future? I'm talking about the past players. Mean Joe Green and all of the others who really put their life on the line when football was being introduced to us, going back years. Are you all taking care of those football players?
All right, sister, I want to know about the old school player, Mean Joe Green. Dig him up, sister. All right, James, she want to know about the old players. How they been taken care of?
Well, actually, even though we sound young, we're one of those old players.
James.
Me and Joe Green and I share the same concerns. We're acquired in 1993, so we're just you know, we notice the pie is getting bigger, but our slice is staying the same. So we're just hoping that the active players and the owners feel the need to address our concerns and give us a much larger slice of the pie.
Very good. I want to move to something now that I think that young entrepreneurs and business people should be involved in. Agents. How many black agents do we have? We never talked about agents, how they make money, and how lucrative is being an agent for a player.
Well, if you represent a lot of players, it can be very lucrative.
Okay.
You know, it's a tough business, and I don't know how many African American agents there are out there now. I know there are some, but
Very few, though, right?
I would think there's very few.
Yeah, there's very few. Fortunately, one of the guys I played with, Roosevelt Barn, with Eugene Parker, an associate. He's one of the the most powerful African American agent here in America, in the world, because each year he had a Dominic Sue one year, then he had Crabtree, Derrick Brooks, Deion Sanders, Ray Lewis, and the list goes on and on.
But let me ask you a question. The other, what's the word is? Myth is that you have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be no lawyer, do you?
Well, no. There's a fee you have to pay. You have to be approved by the NFL Players Association. You have to go to more training, because back in the day, anybody that put on a suit and had a Jericho, he could be an agent, show up to your house, buy a couple meals, and then come in and have the players, basically get robbed by an individual, set them up in a bunch of bad investments, and basically take control of their money. Now, the percentages are less in terms of what the the agents can take, and then they're held more accountable for it. They have to have a whole financial strategy, working with a big company, a reputable company that addresses financial needs, in estate planning, etc.
Right.
So
Right.
it's totally different now.
Ricky, jump in almost a little bit more about the agent. Now, do the agent, what role is he actually negotiating a contract with the owner, and then what else do you do besides negotiate the contract?
Well, that's his primary role is
Right.
to negotiate the contract, but they actually assist in you in preparing you for the draft. You know, once they get a guy out of college and they get him signed, you know, and the guy's a possible draft prospect, they usually send him to some sort of training camp so that they can try to improve their stock value, things of that nature. They also can, you know, assist in, you know, the financial needs, you know, tax services, you know, PR, you know, stuff for you. They actually help guys with, you know, the work in the community as well.
Okay, I came to dream.
Okay, I know this is NFL we talking, but let's think about this, and I'm gonna hear your thoughts about college players today. You know, a lot of them come from family with little or no means, and they can't take as much as a pair of shoes from someone. So you think that they should have some rule that a college player should get some kind of stipend in order for him not to be tempted to take a pair of shoes from someone?
Well, most definitely. When I was in college, just before, I think my sophomore year, it was $15 a month that the players got, and that was for laundry, is what they said. But that was cut off because guys' checks were a lot bigger than $15. So as long as we can come up with a structure that's, you know, safe, that's, you know, keeps the playing field level for all the players, and then guys won't take additional resources, I think it'll work. Because when you look at the total amount of dollars that guys are generating for the colleges, I mean, it's only fair that the players' needs are addressed, you know, while they're in college. Number one. Number two, I think that if there's some monetary dollars there to keep the kid there, he's more inclined to stay in school and graduate. Then when he comes out, you know, the graduation rate will be a lot higher. You know, guys won't be jumping.
That's very good. And that's something that we definitely need to look into. I always thought that too. I mean, your answer was so profound. We have in the studio with us, we have Mr. James Harrell. If you're just tuning in, we have Mr. James Harrell, former NFL great and entrepreneur. And we have also Ricky Reynolds, a former NFL player, Tampa Bay Buccaneers player, NFL player, and a Super Bowl recipient. And he's in the studio as well. We're talking in the NFL, past, present, and future. It's exciting. Hakeem the Dream, you knocked the home run, brother. This was a great show idea. And very informative for our listeners. All 250,000 of you need to come on, get on the phone line. We know you're listening online. Call in number is 813-251-9867. I want to talk about those single mothers that have a son that play football. You're following all around high school. Here's your time to ask some questions. You got a son playing Pee Wee League, playing for the Boys and Girls Club. Call in with your question now because we only got about 20 minutes left, and we'd like to get the benefit of having them here. Let's go to the phone lines. I think we got somebody calling Hakeem the Dream. Well, why don't we do that? Welcome to Honest Opinion. Let's talk football this morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Everything is good, brother.
All right, my comment. You just made a comment on college football. Let's be fair about this. The players shouldn't be paid. They don't need to be paid. Just like the kids go there with academic scholarship, they should be paid too. So everybody, hey, they don't have to play if they don't want to play. Hey, the colleges are not making them play, and they shouldn't be paid. If you're gonna pay them, pay everybody that attend college.
All right, Hakeem the Dream man said pay everybody. Hakeem, don't point to Mr. Harris, the man talking to you. Hakeem. hey, Ellen, the man looking at Mr. Harris and Ricky the Savior. Hakeem the Dream, you want to respond to that? Because it was your question, sir.
Well, the disappointment in that statement from a young person that comes from a family with little or no means, the temptation is always there. And millions of dollars, you know, college football, every game is sellouts. So just like the NFL generate billions of dollars, I'm sure that the college do also. So within guidelines like Mr. Harold said, then there's enough money that you actually could give them a little stipend and monitor that and make the penalty for outside boosters who would violate that trust, make it a prison sentence for them, so they'd be.
All right, Hakeem, you're going too far. Come on, Hakeem, I see the people in the penitentiary. Let's get back to the NFL then. We mentioned no penitentiary in the NFL. So. Come on, Hakeem the Dream. But you know, other question I want to ask Ricky. was in this lockout and all this negotiation. What role do the NFL commissioner play? What is his role in this?
The NFL commissioner is supposed to be a neutral party.
Supposed to be an honest broker.
Yeah, he's supposed to be neutral, but he's actually hired, of course, by the owners. You know, so
Almost like having a public defender.
yeah, I mean, exactly.
Prison
So-
deliverer.
That's right. So you know where his heart is. I mean, you know where his check is. He's being paid with about $10 million a year, so
Good God
he gets
Almighty.
paid very well. So, but he's actually supposed to be, you know, a middle participant.
Facilitator between
yeah, correct.
the owners and the players.
Yeah.
Let's go to the phone lines. Well, welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. What say you? We're talking football this morning.
Good morning, this is Clint Paris. How you doing?
Hey, Clint Paris, attorney Clint Paris. Talk to me.
Thank you very much. And Hakeem, how you doing this morning?
I'm
Glad
fine.
to be tuning in and listening to another great show you're putting together.
Thank you very kind, brother.
A couple of things real quick. First, your panel, Ricky Reynolds and James Hale, they are examples of a byproduct benefit that a pro sports team affords to a community. Not only do they play and represent their teams well, but they've come back in the community as business people and as contributors to make this a better place to live. So that's a byproduct we sometimes overlook that our professional sports team, particularly the Buccaneers, have generated for us. The second thing is that you just cannot overlook the plantation structure, not only for college, and your previous caller completely said, sounded bitter and like he may have missed his market life, but you cannot overlook the plantation structure of not only the college system, where it's difficult for Division I athletes to actually get educated and graduate. I mean, it's set up such that they have to really be dedicated and committed students if they're going to perform at a high level on the field as well as graduate. So it's not so easy as just you show up and you graduate. That's something to keep in mind. And these students, a lot of these players go to school and they come out without an education. They may have a degree. They may have some paperwork, but they have not actually been educated, which is a completely different thing. And that shows itself up on the next level, which comes to the agent piece, getting contracts and getting the full benefit of what being a professional athlete affords someone, not just to themselves, but to the community. So these players at a major disadvantage. And so when it comes to getting these agents and the contracts and negotiations, that structure has to be very much broader than I think people appreciate. It can't be one person, because I'll be frank, they probably need another person watching the first person they got working for. And second of all, somewhere along the lines, and I love to hear Ricky and James talk about this, someone needs to convey to the players and explain to them, listen, your football career is very short, but your life needs some other purpose in it. And maybe I'd love to hear them talk about how they understood or prepared themselves to transition not only out of college into pro, but then the success when they transition in the business world. Because you see these two gentlemen out in the community doing stuff, and they're both, making us all proud. I'd just love to hear their comments about that.
All right, thank you for that, Clinton. Very good. He talking about the career being short for NFL. Jump in, Ricky, and how you make a smooth transition into society after football.
Well, I don't know if it's very smooth for everybody. Most guys have only played football, pretty much their whole lives. A lot of guys hadn't even worked other jobs. So sometimes once it's over, it's a tough transition because, like I said, a lot of guys don't expect to only play 3 years. A lot of guys, think that they're going to play 10, 11, 12 years, make a ton of money, and be okay. But all of a sudden, once it's over, wham, and it's done, a lot of guys have a tough time of juggling their finances because they might have bought a big house, have nice, expensive cars. All of a sudden, now that check's not coming in, so they have a tough time of transitioning. Right. And then if you hadn't prepared, for life after, now you have to kind of make a quick adjustment. Okay, now what do I do? And I think a lot of guys have a tough time dealing with that.
Yes.
And that's what I think the NFLPA is. Now they're having the
Exit symposium.
exit symposium and different things to really try to help former players to make that transition.
And I think it's good, like Ms. Harris, having support systems in the community, like when you was able to go to housing authority and the things that's going on in the community that you can plug in and have real value when you after football's over. But what you did over there was so valuable, hooking up the Boys and Girls Club and the self-sufficient program. We worked together on some issues in the community.
Oh yeah. What's that mean?